This video is about making a cutting board that I made for a gift with one of my wife's handwritten recipes on it. So it was supposed to be done on that atom stack laser, but I couldn't get that working right, so I didn't want to waste the lumber on it. So I did glue up a hard maple blank. I took and I resawed a piece of hard maple and I book matched it there, so this is just two narrower pieces. And I'm just going to sand that down to be about 10 millimeters there. And, you know, this little jet thickness sander does do a good job, and, you know, it does work nice. So this is just preparing the blank for it, and, you know, it doesn't have to be this thin or anything. But then I do have, there's some stuff I did before, but I do have a smaller copy that I tried doing on the atom stack. But here you can see I have Lightburn now running on my D1. I followed the instructions on their website and installed the latest firmware and installed the latest software, and we are up and running fine. Now this is my first test of it. I'm just trying to do a full size of that cutting board to see what it's going to look like on a cheap piece of plywood. And you notice I do have it registered down in the bottom left hand corner, and that's because I did the setup myself for the laser. And later you'll see I did go back and I moved it up to the upper left hand corner, which works best for me now. But anyhow, this is just a test. I made some settings that I want to try to use, and you can see all my cable chain and everything. That's really been working out good. I really love this enclosure. Absolutely no smoke in the air or anything. And I got most of the burn done there and just going around and cutting it out on the outside, but I didn't really have it set to cut through. And I didn't like the settings on that. It was I had a little bit too light on the text, so I decided to play with them again. And you can see I will do several versions of a thing sometimes before I commit to a blank. It doesn't take that long to just knock them out. And there you can see I did install the XTool D1 from their website, the configuration, and now I'm up in the upper left hand corner with my my 00. So this thing really does work amazing with Lightburn. I'm really glad they got it going with it. And this was another run where I had the lines a little bit deep, the burns, and but I got the text where I wanted it. So, it does pay to play around with some samples when you're going to do a job like this. And now it's time to line up the main board that I'm going to be using. And you can see I'm still using that red crosshair for the framing. You can turn that off and use the laser, but I really like that crosshair. It's so visible and easy to see. And then sometimes I'll get an out of bounds when I go to run it, but it does run fine. And here we are, we're up on Lightburn, and we're doing our first real burn on it. And I've got the air assist turned on. That seems to be working really good. And the burn's going really good. I had absolutely no problems during this whole burn. And I am getting, I did get my settings right, so I'm getting some nice deep cuts around the edge there to really make it show out. And as I said, that fan and exhaust system is really working good on it. Now this is an idea I've seen other people doing. This is not my idea, doing a recipe on the cutting board, but I thought putting an outline of an apple with an apple crisp recipe would be good. So I just found that online, and that's what I'm using for now. And I am going back and doing like a final cut around the artwork here just to give it a nice depth. And then it's time to go back and start on the text part of it. And I chose not to trace it or anything like that. I'm just running it right off the original scan that I did of my wife's recipe. And there you can see I just scanned it in, and I'm using that. These things are so easy to pretty much find anything you want on the web, or scan in anything that you have that you want to duplicate. So everything's looking good. that seemed to come out pretty good. And then I did a cut around the outside. I only cut about 3 millimeters deep, though I didn't want to burn it too bad. And I didn't know if I could cut through hard maple, but you can see that actually came out really nice. With the hard maple, you get a little bit like the sap boiling out. And originally I was going to make this cutout with my CNC first and then engrave it, but I decided now just go back and do it by hand. It won't be too bad. So just took that old Harbor Freight jigsaw, and that does get used every once in a while, and tried to cut around the outside edges there. Tried to keep it as close as I could, and you kind of see that there, where the laser cut, I was able to peel that back 3 millimeters deep. And now I'm just going to use a 3/8 diameter pilot bearing here to just trim everything else back flush, so I get a nice even cut and I don't have to sand all that jigsaw marks off. I stayed a little bit outside the line, but there's just a deep enough burn to let me put the bearing on it. So I just set that up for depth on my router and just went around it on the router table there, and actually did do a good job of cleaning it up. So that was really an easy way to, to get it cut out there. And I did decide to go back later and try a piece of, I think it's almost 10 millimeter hard maple that I'm using here. So I decided to do 10 passes at 100% power and see if I could get through it, but I did not get through it. It just, deepest I get was just about maybe 8 millimeters, 7.5 to 8 millimeters with 10 passes. And actually it looked pretty good. It didn't burn too bad or anything. But there you can see that was 10 passes. And that's what happened when I tried cutting 6 millimeters with that Atom stack. That thing was junk. But anyhow, there you can see I got down about 7.5, 8 millimeters with the laser on this. So this one definitely really works good, does a good job. And then once I got everything, cleaned up, I went back and I just took a little 1/8" round over bit, radius bit with a brass bushing, so it would have tight corners on it. And just went back and started to round over both the front and the back side of it. And then once I got that done, I wanted to do a little more sanding on it. And for edges and stuff like this with tight corners and trying to blend the radiuses in, this little mouse sander that I got probably about 40 years ago really does a good job. It's the only thing I use it for because it shakes like crazy, but it does do a good job at tight areas. So there it is. Time to do a little bit more sanding on it. Doing the final sanding here. Just using the orbital sander. And then on the front I'm also going to flip it over and just clean up a little bit of the dark marks. I really burned deep on everything so I could sand a little bit. Now to finish it, I'm using this salad bowl finish. I got this can left over years ago. I used to use it on cutting boards I made and had this can left over, so I figured I'll use this because it puts a nice film down and it's not greasy or oily. It does, look halfway decent, plus it's food grade, so it's safe to use for a cutting board. So I'm just going to do this, and I wound up putting 2 coats on it, and it does take, first coat took about 6 hours to dry, and the second coat actually took about 24 hours to fully dry. So the second coat really did take a long time, but you can see how it really brings out the grain, and it brings out all the text on it and everything. So that there's the second coat, and I'm going to let it dry. Now I needed a stand for it just to set it up out of the way on the counter. And I had a piece of spalted maple that I'm just setting up here and putting a groove in it with a dado head on an angle. And that's going to be my stand. I'm starting to use up some of these little old scrap pieces I got. And then over the jigsaw, and I'm just going to cut a radius on it, decided what side I needed it to keep everything from flipping over. And then a little bit of sanding, and 5 minutes later, I've pretty much got a stand for it. I'm real happy with that. That was a real wild piece of wood. A lot of spalting and, no real rot, so that was a good one. So I put 2 coats of that same finish on there also, just to clean it up. Now, once the cutting board was dry, it had kind of a shiny finish, and I didn't want that. And I find the easiest way to remove that without damaging anything is take some of this extra fine Scotch-Brite and cut a disc to fit on the base of your sander where the Velcro is. And it'll stick to the sander good enough to go back through and clean off all the glaze and stuff and get a nice polished, dull-looking finish, you can see. So there you can see, pretty much it started out as some test pieces, and there's the final part, and I'm really happy with how it came out. So if you know anybody that has a favorite recipe that you like and you want to keep, see if they've got a handwritten copy of it, and you can just make kind of a family heirloom out of it so it'll stay around forever. And I'm really happy how it came out, and my wife just knitted me up that little reindeer there. He's going to be the star of the next video. Probably going to lose some subscribers over that one though. But anyhow, I'm real happy, how this came out. You can see the book matched maple there really did work out good, and that XTool D1, that's really it's really a great laser engraver. I enjoy that one the most of all of mine right now. So it's these are fairly quick and simple projects, and if you cut the blank out on CNC first, it would go a little bit quicker, but I wanted to show you that I still do use my hand tools every once in a while. And there you can see it picks right out of that stand, and you can set it down and use it for a cutting board if you flip over the back and then put it back up on the stand, and you won't see the knife marks on it. So the stand really, I'm really happy with that too. Plus I found out that it works perfect for my wife's iPad, so I'm going to make her another one just like it. So when you're using the cutting board, you can actually put your iPad in it. So I just wanted to share this, simple gift idea, and hopefully it'll help somebody out, coming up with ideas. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.